What's going on, everybody? You are now rocking it with the Trash Cats. Of course, I am Geddis, and I got Thong with me. I kind of want to just get straight into it, so we'll get some pleasantries. But Thong, are you doing good? Are you well? You're
I'm
well.
doing amazing. Amazing.
Wonderful,
Amazing, I'll tell
wonderful.
you.
Your hair looks great.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Long hair don't care. We got to do it. That's a common thread here at Trash Cats. So obviously, first and second round are done. Let me go ahead and say it to everybody that it is watching. Tong called it 2 videos ago. Tong called this pick, and sure enough, BTJ is here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tong, you go ahead and pat yourself on the back and talk a little bit of noise if you would like.
We do a little scouting, we do a little research, and we just don't talk on here, right? We got a little bit of a background work done,
Exactly.
and
In his
very
white
very
tee.
happy with the pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in his white tee. All right, so let's get into it. We'll talk about BTJ because everybody already knows about that. Everybody's happy about that pick, but I want to talk about this Mason Smith pick because everybody seems to be making a big stink about it. I shared it on Facebook and other social media outlets that I like the pick, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good with it. I'm rocking with Balky. We got the receiver. I'm happy with the receiver, so I'm rolling with them, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna trust what he's doing. We're gonna manifest that this is a great pick. I'm not a big manifestation guy, but that's what we're gonna do. But like I said, there's people that are upset. What do you think about the pick? And I guess talk to me a little bit about. Yes, we're going to work through this whole entire thing.
sure. I think people are upset because they feel like if you're gonna go with defensive tackle, they wanted Chris Jenkins, just because he was a more accomplished player, and he was, has the pedigree. His dad is Chris Jenkins, the former great NFL player. So he was hyped up. People were. I think that was one of the players that I've seen a lot mocked to the Jags in the second round, in the multi-round mock. So like people, they get it in their heads that that's who they want. If we're gonna go in that position, but from what I've seen on tape, what I've seen from Mason Smith, he has more potential. He's a higher upside guy, and I think that what played a big role into them drafting him is that the Jags' new linebackers coach, is LSU's former defensive coordinator, so he knows Mason Smith. Like he coached him for the past 2 years. So like, who knows him better than his defensive coordinator, right? And so like, I feel like he, put in a good word for him. Felt like this guy could be a really high caliber player in the NFL, and they went with it. And I don't have an issue with it. I know it's a risk. It's definitely a risk. The guy's been injury prone. He's tore his ACL 2 years ago. I believe had a season-ending shoulder injury his freshman year.
Yeah, 2021.
So he's had some injury issues throughout his career, and after the ACL, big guys, they tear the ACL and it takes a while for them to get back to their old self, right? So hopefully he'll be 2 years removed from the ACL, and he can finally play up to his full potential, because he's a very high regarded recruit coming out of high school as well. So
see, I'm good with the pick. Like I already said, we're going to manifest that this is a great pick, and I understand the reason why. I can see why people are annoyed with the pick, because they, like you said, they already had it in their head. There's a guy that they wanted. That's the person that you go with. And, there was even people that were mad about the BTJ pick, that they were like, oh, how come we didn't take a corner? I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing about corners anymore right now. But like, I look at it and I'm like, there has to be a reason why they picked him. I have to trust that Trent Baalke made the right pick here. So I'm going to rock with this pick. I think what NFL.com has it projected as the worst is a viable backup. But he has the potential to be better. I'm cool with potential. I guess people assume that because you draft somebody in the second round, it has to be a guaranteed lock. I'm more the position that the first round pick is that. In second round, third round, the second round coach, you want the person to be a contributor, but they don't have to be an immediate starter. I don't think that
Right.
he has to be that. And people are looking at it as like every pick has to be an immediate hit. Of course, I guess if you're comparing him to another player that people are saying are projected to be better, but I'm cool with going with potential. That does not upset me. It doesn't irk my nerves. I'm good with it. I'm a trust Trent Baalke with this. I'm fine. I'm fine with the pick. If he doesn't start initially, that's fine. Put him in the rotation. If he's run stopping, if he's getting some pressure, I'm good with it. Because if you got a defensive line that's getting pressure on the quarterback, then corners or whatever at that point. You can get whatever corner. And the corner is going to be not whatever corner, but you need a decent. You can get an average corner with the ridiculous front line. So they're thinking, hey, this person's going to be a contributor to what our front line is going to be. So I'm not tripping on it. What do people?
And he's not going to start. He's not going to start. Like we got Eric Armstead, which they will play pretty much the same position, right? Because Mason Smith can line up inside, he can line up on the edge. So he'll rotate in, and that's what you need. Like defensive line these days, you need depth because they rotate in and out. Just because it takes a lot to play that position these days, and to keep the other offense, on their heels, it's a rotation, right? You need those guys that can come in and put pressure on the quarterback, and I feel like he could do that. I definitely think he could do that because you watch his tape, he's got some pass rush moves. He's pretty explosive. He's shown flashes. He's just not. He hasn't been able to put it together for like a whole season, mainly because of the injury problems. So,
right. And look, anything that we do now, the way I look at it is this is going to be immediately. Everything we do is to deal with the Texans and to deal with the Colts and potentially the Titans. Because I don't care what anybody says, the Texans are legit and the Colts are going to be. I think they're going to be a problem. So with I don't care if they feel like this is what's going to be the best in order to be able to compete with these teams, then I am good with that. I have to trust it. So the league, so the NFL, so all the pundits, all the analysts, they looked at him at Mason Smith and they weren't high on him, but all the NFL, all the NFL itself,
the football guys,
all high on him.
Yeah.
And they were saying that there are people that wanted him, and he wouldn't have. They were making a move. There was no way he was going to fall into the third round. So when are you going to pick him? If that's the guy that you want to get, you got to take him when he's available. And I understand the whole take the best player that's available at that moment. But I mean, if that's your guy, you take your guy. I mean, Falcons are like Penix is going to be our guy, so they took Penix. Question to pick all you want to, but that's
exactly. Yeah, right. They didn't think he would fall. Yeah, they didn't think he would fall, and sure.
Right. And can you imagine them trying to trade up? Like if they made their pick and trying to go back and trying to get him, would they have to give up in order to get him? You take him. You just take him. So we look at the Jaguars, they had to do what they had to do. Like if everybody within the NFL is high on this player, I don't care what pundits say. I don't care what Mel Kiper Jr. says. I don't care about none of these people. I care more about what the people in the NFL think. And if they think that this guy's a guy that's high and a lot of other GMs are thinking that same thing, then that's the guy you go with.
Right. Yeah. No issues. No complaints. I have no complaints.
I'm not tripping. What do you think about BTJ? I know you're happy about that because
man,
I'm super excited about that. You start him at one, like he comes in week one. He's the one. That's it.
Well, it's not about being the one. It's about the fit and about the role he's going to play in the offense.
No, I mean wide receiver one. Like he's coming as wide receiver one. Like that's where he's going to be at.
The X, lining up on the outside, 1-on-1. Yes,
that's him.
He'll be that guy. He'll be that guy. Yes. Exactly. So you'll have him, and then you'll have Christian Kirk in the slot. He can play slot full time,
Yes.
And we'll have Gabe on the outside, on the other side, and we'll have Ingram at tight end. He's been one of the best pass catching tight ends in the league the past 2 years. So it's a good group now. I feel like Trevor needed this guy, this type of receiver. His whole he's been playing in the league for 3 years. He's never had a guy like this.
Nope.
He's big. He's fast. He's got strong hands. I think he led college football in touchdowns last year, receiving touchdowns with I think 17, and I think 12 or over 20 yards. So he's fast. He can run the go route. He can go get the ball, but he can also go up and get the ball in the red zone, which is really important because we struggled with that immensely last year.
Former basketball player, so he can get out jump out
exactly.
the gym.
exactly. So he can win the 50-50 balls for you. Um, yeah, man, I'm excited. The guy, you know, I had, the top three receivers were the top three this year, right? That's there's a reason that they went top 10.
Right.
But I feel like BTJ is right under them. And I feel like he's not as polished as Rome or as um Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hmm.
He's not as good as a route runner, and he's not explosive as Neighbors. But I feel like as an overall package and potential, I feel like he's right up there with all three of them. It might take him a little bit more time to get acquainted with the NFL.
You think
Whereas
so?
I feel, I mean, it maybe. I'm saying like just like um, being like a polished receiver where like if you watch Rome and you watch Marvin Harrison Jr., like they're NFL receivers. Like they run NFL
Yeah, yeah,
routes,
yeah,
they run every route. They just
yeah.
play like NFL players, you know what I mean? I
Right.
don't think PCJ is quite at that level yet, but he definitely has the potential. He definitely has extremely high potential. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I'm extremely excited about it. It's what the last draft, the last wide receiver we taken that high was, I believe it was Justin Blackman. Was that the
Mhm.
last person?
Yeah.
And we all know how that went. But having BTJ there, I think will make Trevor have the outlet that he needs. And I understand you're saying like he may have some learning and some stuff he has to do to go to get up to speed. But I look at it, I'm like, is there that much that he really truly needs to learn with all the stuff
Yeah.
with how good that he is in the that he was at LSU? I'm like,
Well, I think
I'm ecstatic.
yeah. I think you can start him out very simple, right? Like
Hmm.
he's good at certain things. He's good at the deep ball. He's good at the 50-50 ball. So like you use him in certain like you use him to his strengths at first, right? Where
Hmm.
he's comfortable because you have guys like Christian Kirk, where Christian Kirk is used to being the number one guy. Like, he's in the slot, but he's the best receiver on the team. And
Right,
you can
right. He's
you
getting his
can like
touches.
depend on him. Like you can give him 10 targets a game, no problem. So like um PGJ doesn't really have the pressure to go in there and like just be the number one receiver right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So use him to his strengths to start with, and see where he goes from there. But yeah, he opens up the offense immensely, man. Trust me, we haven't had a guy like this
We haven't
on this
had it.
team in a while,
We haven't had
in a
it. So
long time.
if this can truly pan out to be what we want, then this so now you know, talk to me. You think the way the team is looking right now, we're head to head. We can go head to head with the Texans.
It really depends. To me, it depends on the offensive line. If they can play at a high level,
Yeah.
this offense could be pretty good. This offense could be, they were pretty good, the first half of last year, with everybody playing well before Trevor got banged up and before
Right.
Travis got banged up a little bit. Um, yeah, I feel like, yeah, definitely this team is definitely a playoff team. It's definitely a playoff caliber team with the talent on it. Division's going to be tough, but um, they're right up there with the Texans and the Colts,
All right.
contending with the division, in my opinion.
You're saying the stuff that you're saying the stuff that I want to hear. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see because I think right now, if you're watching this, we're shooting this, we're recording this. What is today? Friday. So I think they're doing the third round today too, aren't they?
Yes, first
Oh,
next two rounds are today.
next two rounds are today.
I
So I'm
think.
excited to
I don't
see
know.
what
They
that.
changed it up a couple times, and I think should know this, but yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure tomorrow starts the fourth round. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. To be able to have to be able to be at 17, be able to trade down and still get the receiver that you wanted. Big deal. Big deal. So I was at
Yes.
the draft party they had at the stadium. They let people on the field. That's when they did
Mm.
it. Yeah, yeah. So it's actually very interesting. It was exciting. Be able to like sit down on the field. Travis Etienne was there, and they had a few other players that were there that they interviewed during the draft. But it was nice being able to sit on the field, get to experience that. There was a lot of people there. What's funny is that there was a bunch of people that were dressed like it was like the club, and I'm like, this is a draft day party. Where's your Jaguar gear at? And I'm like, you think you're gonna pick up a Jaguar out here or something? I'm like, dog, come on now. But it is what it is. So, all right. Well, I'm good. I feel confident. I am. I think I've turned I turned face from being heel, because when we first started back doing the podcast, I was a bit angry and annoyed by how the Jaguars are doing what they're doing, and the Texans were doing all they're doing, and now I feel like this is what happens every year. I'm annoyed, then I start drinking the Kool-Aid, then I'm all in. So I'm hoping the cycle doesn't continue where then I get upset. So throughout this season, I'm gonna need you to keep me level-headed, please.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and I'll always keep it real, and I feel like it's been a good offseason. I can't complain too much of what they've done this offseason.
I feel like they're trying,
and that's rare.
Right, they're trying, and I think, and it might just be because the fact that the Texans are putting pressure, like they're going for it. So I think that's part of the reason why they're like, hey, like we really got to do what we got to do here, because if we don't, computer's acting up here. But if we don't do what we got to do, then we're going to be kind of left in the dark. So awesome. Any last things you want to say, Tom?
No, just can't wait to see BTJ in action in a couple months.
You buying a BTJ jersey?
I haven't bought a jersey in a long time.
I can't buy jerseys. Every time I buy a jersey, man, the players, they never stay. I picked up. I'm at the stadium. I picked up a Trevor Lawrence jersey, and I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's never worked out well. Never worked out well. So awesome. If you made it this far, people, please go ahead and like the video, hit the subscribe button. We drop videos every week. So if you like us and you find us a little bit entertaining, go ahead and rock with your boys here. So once again, I'm Geddis Thong, Trash Cats. We are out. Peace.